It's called Soul Swingin' by Richard Farrell. Good morning, everybody. Kikinim is headed to Busan by train, and I was going to get some sleep and start the stream. I'm done sleeping. Oh, wow. You're on your way to Busan. What's in Busan? What's waiting for you in Busan? So, Kikini, what's waiting for you in Busan? What's waiting for you there? What is waiting for you there? Hey, everybody. Good morning. How's it? Yeah, how's it going? You're going to Haeundae? Are you on your way to Haeundae? Are you going to go hang out there? Yeah, morning. How is everybody doing this morning? I really wanted to stream last night and the night before, but I think the day before I had gone to an interview, and that was, it turned out to be a 3-hour interview. The video will probably not turn out to be a 3-hour video, but the interview itself actually took 3 hours, and it was physically very tiring, but I was really happy with the interview because, it was a 3-hour interview, but it turned out to be really a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Well, before we actually started the interview, they told me that they were planning to actually do the interview for about 3 hours. And then I was a little taken aback. I'm like, what? 3 hours? And then, after getting into it, we got into, we got quite in depth with a lot of things. And I was quite happy with that. I think long format interviews are better in a lot of ways. Sure, it's physically very tiring, but in the sense that you can actually really get in depth with a lot of things that you talk about instead of just scratching the surface, right? So I really like that about long format interviews. And I don't know if I'll ever be doing other interviews in the future, but when the opportunity comes, I think I'm going to actually make the suggestion to make it a long format interview. And what I really liked about the interview was that there were 3 people interviewing me instead of having just one person hiding behind a camera, which is usually the case. But this one was very different. There were 3 people interviewing me, and they were all sitting, relatively close to me compared to other interviews that I've been to. And so that it actually felt like a conversation rather than me just talking into a camera. You know what I mean? So, oh gosh. So no, it was another YouTube channel called Impactor. I think they talked to just, a lot of people, and I think their focus is on books, although my interview didn't really turn out to be too focused on books. But I think they focus on books, trying to motivate people to make a change in their lives. But, it's kind of similar to a lot of the other, like, motivational channels. So, yeah, that's right. And let's see. OJ, what's this? Why is it highlighted? 쌤, 애플 팟캐스트나 이런 데 라이브 스트리밍 올릴 생각 없으신가? 팟캐스트 앱 자주 활용하는데 쌤 라이브 가능하게 있으면 좋겠다 생각했습니다. I never really thought of that. I never really... how is that different from these streams? I'm kind of curious. How is it different? How would it be different from these streams? Did you talk about importance of repetition? Actually, I didn't stress that too much during the interview. I'll share the link once the video is ready. So, I don't want to. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing that I talk about, like, in my streams and in my videos. So there isn't going to be any surprise in what you hear or what you see from the video, but I don't want to spoil too much. I mean, it wouldn't really be much of a spoil because like I said, I talk about these things all the time. So, sure. Yeah. Pretty soon. I'm hoping pretty soon. Today, I'm really satisfied with my new luggage. Okay. Everybody should buy the luggage with the brake function. Oh, okay. I see. Right, so the reason we are streaming this morning, this very early in the morning, is because I have a few things that I want to go over with everybody. Good. Yes, make it whining. As soon as September comes, it feels a bit chillier to me for some reason, but I'm so excited the fall is here. Yeah, I mean, we're way overdue, right? It should be getting really chilly by now. It should be like really crisp and cool, but it's, I mean, yesterday I'm sure some of you were out and about yesterday during the day. It was actually kind of hot. A good podcast channel. I never really thought about that. I don't know. Usually for podcasts, don't they have like several people like coming on the podcast and I don't know, talking about like random stuff? What am I going to do this weekend? Should I already be worried about the weekend? Isn't it only... Oh, it's Friday. Jeez. Okay. I didn't even realize it was Friday, guys. Today I have a few things that I have to do because I need some security for my new studio and I also need internet there. And so I got to go and make sure those are set up correctly. And tomorrow I believe I'm going in for acupuncture treatment tomorrow. I'm actually going into a honey one tomorrow. And I'm already on their medication. I'm already taking their herbal medicine. This is my second day. I started taking it yesterday. And tomorrow I'm going in for, I am due for an acupuncture treatment tomorrow. It's going to be my first ever acupuncture treatment that I will be getting. So I'm kind of nervous. They say that I'll probably not feel anything, which I'm glad. But it's my first ever. It's gonna be my first ever acupuncture treatment that I will have gotten. So that's kind of exciting. Yeah. Do you think it worked? Do I think what worked? You mean the medication that I'm on, the herbal medicine? No. My doctor is actually looking at least like 6 months of medication and treatment for there to be any sort of noticeable result. She said about from 6 months to about a year. That's the kind of window that she's looking at in terms of the treatment. So we'll see. Same here in Northern California. It should have been way earlier, but now I can feel the fall vibe recently. Finally, yeah. It's really concerning, isn't it? Like the way our climate is so noticeably getting delayed. Like everything is being pushed back, right? Whew. I don't know. The forecast that I've been reading, like these past couple of days, they say that it's gonna stay warm until November. Like, did you guys see this? Is this true? Is it actually gonna stay warm until November and just immediately jump to winter? That's what I heard. That's what I read. No, the medication that I'm taking now. Did I say on? That I'm on now, or the medication that I'm taking now? Good morning, good evening, thank you. Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure to be here. On Sunday night. You are in a bad shape. Am I in bad shape now? I guess you could say that. I mean, I don't think about it too much. I don't like. I'm kind of used to the symptoms that I have. I've had these symptoms for a long time now, so I'm quite used to them. I could probably survive without any treatment. I could probably get over these symptoms on my own, but I just decided that I would, just get some help. That's all. Here, New Zealand has spring vibe now. Finally, winter's gone. Oh, okay. All right, you're on the other side of the world, so. 나보다 영어 잘하면 형님 외국에서 제너럴 레벨인데 놀랐네. 아무튼 나 이제 가야겠네. 제리 시장이 오라 하네요. Okay. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what you're getting at, but all right. Okay, so you're off to work. All right. Have a good day at work. Try to enjoy yourself. I just thought it would be really good if you were live streaming on the podcast app. Oh, so if my stream content was on the podcast app. I see. Okay. All right. So could that actually provide another type of revenue stream for me? Is that what you're suggesting? All right. I'll look into it. Yeah, good morning. It's around 12 a.m. in France. So that's around midnight, a little past midnight. It's about 6:40, right, in Korea, right? Yes, it is. It's so warm and hot here, Reno, Nevada, but there is a big gap temperature-wise between day and night. Yes, that is to be expected around this time of the year, I think. Off to work, be off to work. I'm in the train. You're on the train. Very early in the morning. Every folks are snoring now. Train or subway? Train. I'm guessing train because you're on your way to Busan. 저희는 영국인데도 10시장. Wow, you're in the UK. That's great. Snoring orchestra. 잠을 설치다. Yeah, you didn't sleep well. Not sleep well. So if you didn't sleep well, you can say I didn't sleep well. On the 24th, really? Sorry, I'm I miss a lot of messages on Discord. Sorry about that. I probably miss a lot more messages than I actually read. Oh, you just left it now? Oh, okay. Yeah, I hope I can remember to check it out. 어제 쌤 책 도착해서 이제 영상 보면서 회화 공부하려고 합니다. That's great, but remember, you can't rely only on the book. You should never rely solely on content and products that have been created to teach you English. You have to spend a lot of time looking at, reading, watching, listening to English that are just being used out in the wild. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yes? That's so important. You're in the US? That's great. All right. Okay, so let's start with the first thing that I want to go over with you this morning. So I realize that because it's so early in the morning and we tend not to focus so good so early in the morning. I mean, you didn't create voice channel. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I didn't didn't think of that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that a little later. Maybe we'll just skip that today. I live in Malaysia. It's 5:44 a.m. and I am preparing for my son's lunch. Okay, you're preparing your son's lunch. Okay. All right. Honestly, it's my first time joining this live stream. So stoked. Oh, it's your first time tuning into the stream. Welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here. To all, what are you gonna eat for breakfast? Breakfast? Just skip breakfast. Stop, guys. Stop eating breakfast. Just stop it. Stop eating breakfast. Like, I mean, come on. Let's be honest. You're not even hungry, are you? You're not even hungry. 늙지 않고 남아. Stop thinking about aging. That's how you actually slow down stop thinking about it and stop having breakfast. Stop thinking about your age and stop eating breakfast. That'll keep you young. I promise. That'll keep you young. Yeah, see? And that makes you older. Because that's stressful. That shit is stressful. Stop thinking about it. Just remove that part from your life. I took a day off. OMG I've. I'm so happy I could. Oh, that's great. Okay. Wow, you are taking a day off and you're up so early. Must be a habit for you, right? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I am wearing the red cap today. What makes you being a breakfast hater? I don't hate it. I just don't have breakfast very often. Sometimes I do. Because my wife makes like the best salad in the world. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking that I'm exaggerating, I'm overreacting, I'm kidding. But no, I'm not. Like, I have never had a salad that's better than the one that my wife makes. But she doesn't make that like every day. She makes it when she feels like it. What? Hey, don't take one thing and call it something else. I'm saying that my wife makes the best salad. Why does that make me a 사랑꾼? I'm just saying. Well, of course, yeah, of course I love my wife more than anything else. Like I would like, you know, if I had to kill someone to be with her, I would. But that's not the point. I'm saying that she makes the best salad. Okay, so it always has to be about love, right? Okay. All right, it's just okay then. Yeah, whatever you want. I'm just saying, she makes a good salad. Actually, it's really simple. Just use good ingredients, like very fresh vegetables, and go very light on the dressing. Just like a touch of vinegar and some virgin olive oil. That's it. And some salt and pepper. That's it. Like very minimalistic salad. It just tastes so good. And don't make the salad sweet. That's the worst thing you can do to a bowl of salad, to make it sweet. Actually, you're right. Yeah. So nothing that makes it sweet, or nothing that creates too much water. Like no lettuce. No lettuce in salad. Like never put any lettuce in salad, because that creates too much water and it just completely messes up the texture and the overall taste. I really don't like lettuce. Well, I mean, I can eat lettuce in salad. I mean, that's fine. But if I had an option to not have lettuce in salad, I would never have lettuce in salad. Yes, 양상추. Yeah, let 맞나? I think so. Okay, I just want to a few things, a few random things. I actually just like during my break, I took a bit of a break, right? I think about a month or so. And during the break, I've been preparing so many things, like in terms of lessons that I want to cover with you guys. And there's so many, and I have a lot of like leftovers that I really don't know what to do with. And so I kind of want to go over some of these in a very random fashion with you guys this morning. Just a few things, unless you guys keep talking about salads. Oh yeah, that of course. Yeah, that's right. All right. Okay, so first thing. Imagine, hold on a second. This is really distracting. Okay. So I want you to imagine that you're talking about something to another person, and you want to you want to point out the fact that this is not just coming from you. It's actually a verified and proven and demonstrated fact. It's not just you saying it, it's not just your opinion. It's something that's already been verified. It's something that's already been proven and demonstrated before. And so there's an expression that we use when we want to, well, of course we can say it's a fact, but there's a very it's kind of an interesting expression that that you'll hear a lot from native speakers. And what that is, hold on a second. Okay. And you'll hear this a lot. Whoops. Can't see it. Hey, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Hey, don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. And what this means is don't rely solely on what I'm saying. Okay? Don't rely solely on what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you, so what that means is what I'm telling you is it's not coming entirely from me. It's coming from something else. There's another source, a more reliable source. So what this may lead to after this, you can say, for example, hey, don't take my word for it. There's plenty of information about this online, for example. So don't take my word for it can lead to something like this. Okay? Now remember, I just want to explain this one more time. As you are talking about something that may be understood as your opinion. So you're telling them something and you don't want them to think that this is just you expressing your opinion. Okay? You want to tell them, "Hey, this is not just coming from me. Hey, don't take my word for it. There's plenty of information about this online." Okay? You see what I'm saying? No. It's not this. It's not this. It's not this. Well, sometimes it's something similar to this, but not in this context. Okay? All right. Yeah, it's more like this. It's more like this. Right? So yeah, it's more like this. It's so, again, what I'm saying right now, it's not just coming from me. I'm not just expressing what I think. There's some basis to this. This is actually based on things that have already been verified, things that have already been researched, okay? So, hey, don't take my word for it. Or it could lead to something like this, like, hey, don't take my word for it. There have been countless research on this topic. I guess it should be there has been. Don't take my word for it. So, for instance, I think a few days ago, or I should probably say a few streams ago, I think I said something about staying hungry keeps you young. Remember that? Remember when I told you that? And I think this is kind of the basis for intermittent fasting. Does everybody know what intermittent fasting is? Intermittent fasting? What is intermittent fasting? Yes. So I think from what I understand, intermittent fasting kind of goes hand in hand with the theory. Okay, it goes hand in hand with the theory that staying hungry is actually healthy. It's healthy. Of course, everything in moderation. Of course, if you starve yourself, it's not going to be very healthy. But moderated fasting, right? Staying hungry to an extent actually is healthy in a way. And I talked about this during one of our streams. I kind of blurred that description and just said, staying hungry keeps you young. And as I'm talking about that, this is something that I could say, hey, don't take my word for it. There's been research on this. I think it was initially from some Japanese doctor or something. And there's actually some evidence of this. Okay. Okay, so hey, don't take my word for it. I've read a lot of articles on this. There's plenty of research on this topic. And so, yeah, I'm just not talking out of my ass. Okay. All right. 양식이님, hello. How you doing this morning? It's hard. It's really not easy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and one other thing that I want to add is, so this expression is actually encouraging the listener to look it up. By saying this, you are encouraging the person to actually do some research on their own and read about and learn about this topic. Right. It's encouraging the person to actually do some research and themselves and to look it up themselves, and not only just take my word for it. So, like, two things. What I'm saying is there's actually some verified facts to support. There is actually things that can support what I'm saying now, because it's been verified and it's been proven to an extent, at least. Can I also say you might want to double check this following? You might want to don't take my word for it. Yes, but that's the other side of this expression. Don't take my word for it means don't believe everything that I'm saying. Don't take everything that I'm saying for a fact, and don't take it for granted. It means that there may be, I may be missing some things, but yeah. Okay. So don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Okay. Let's see. The second one that I want to go over with you guys is I've had my fair share of. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have heard this expression before from being used by native speakers. I've had my share of something. It's kind of different from this. It's a little different from this. Yes. I've had my fair share of. I don't know if I've ever covered this in any of my lessons or streams. I guess if I had, some of you would have noticed by now. But yeah, this is used quite a lot, because this is referring to, it's not a personalized experience. Like, everybody experiences this, right? 할 만큼 해봤다. Yes, similar. 충분히 겪어봤다. Yes. 내 몫을 받았다. Okay, so that is a rather direct translation. Okay. So I've had my fair share of, in simpler terms, it means I've experienced it a number of times. I've experienced it plenty of times. I've experienced it as much as the next guy. I've experienced it. I've experienced it as much as anybody else. Yes, that's what this means. So just to give you some examples, I've had my share of bad luck. This is probably one of the most common things that people relate it to. Okay? This is probably the most common thing that people use this phrase with. I've had my share of bad luck. It means I've had plenty of bad luck, as much as anybody else. I've had my fair share. Okay? This is another good one. Yeah, I've had my fair of challenges. Very good. Right. So yeah, so if you were trying to say something like this, like 정크리스님 says, 나도 나름 산전수전 다 겪어봤어. So if you wanted to express something like this is probably one of your best options in terms of expressions. Okay? Well, been there, done that is a little more focused on a particular thing. A very specific experience, right? Been there, done that. But you're right. It is similar. It is similar. Okay, another good one. Yeah, I've had my fair share of failures. That means I have experience with failure as much as anybody else. I've had my fair share of relationships. Yeah, but in this is usually used with negative contexts. No. It's usually used in negative contexts. Yes, it is. Yeah, for example, toxic relationships or just bad relationships. Yeah, I've had my fair share of bad relationships. Yes, bad relationships. That's right. How about betrayal? I've had my fair share of betrayal. This is probably another very common thing that people use this phrase with. Yes, in most contexts, it's usually with negative contexts. Yes. Oh man, I've had my fair share of bad luck. God knows I've had my fair share of challenges. Whew. Hey, I'm no exception. I've had my fair share of failure. I mean, it may look like I'm doing well now, but believe me, I've had my fair share of bad luck. Okay? Can you kind of get the tone? Can you get the tone? So if you want to actually use this in a real conversation, you might want to kind of support it with something like some of the things that I said, like God knows, right? Or trust me, right? Something like this. Trust me. Oh my God. Okay. I wouldn't really like specifically point to bankruptcy, but I would probably use something like, financial struggles, right? I've had my fair share of financial struggles. That's probably how I would phrase it rather than, rather than just saying bankruptcy. I don't know. I guess you could say that, but for some reason it sounds a bit too specific, right? So it just sounds a lot smoother and natural when saying like financial struggles, right? And yeah, I mean, it's true. Absolutely. Even for me, like for real, like God, hey, trust me, I've had my fair share of financial struggles. Sure. Family dynamics. Sure. Um uh how would I phrase it? Yeah, family dynamics. You know, like the complex psychology and the ups and downs and the pulling and pushing that happens even within family members. I guess you could kind of categorize that under relationships, but of course that's a little bit different. Okay. I guess you could just spell it out. You can just say, you know, I've had my fair share of problems with my family. I suppose you can just say it like that. Okay. All right. So, two things that we've gone over so far. Don't take my word for it. There's plenty of information that you can find online. There's plenty of things that you can read about. There's been countless research on this topic. So, don't take my word for it. Okay. Means I'm not just saying this because I believe it or just because that's what I think. I'm saying, you know, there's some evidence to this, right? And the second thing that we just went over is, hey, I've had my share of bad luck. That means I've had as much bad luck as anybody else. I am no exception. I have not been spared from bad luck or challenges and failures, right? So I've had my my fair share of failure. I've had my fair share of bad relationships, betrayal, financial struggles, and so forth. You probably shouldn't connect this phrase with someone very specific, like her, right? That is, well, you could do that if many people, like many people, have have had problems with her, right? Then I suppose you could say that, but especially, yeah, especially the listener also has to be very familiar with that. So, yeah. So that could depend. That could depend. Yeah, this works too. I've had my fair share of rejections. Rejections, sure. Rejections is a good one, actually. All right, so that's the second one. I've had my fair share of something. Okay. All right. Another thing that probably another one of the most commonly used, talked about or mentioned things about, you know, fair share is setbacks. We've talked about setbacks quite a lot on this channel, I think, right? And I've used the word setbacks quite a lot in my examples in the past as well. So I've had my fair share of setbacks. And so this is kind of like failure. It's one form of failure. It's kind of like a temporary failure, right? It's not something that just, it's not as, right? It's not as detrimental. It's not as it's not as bad as a failure, but setbacks, right? Setbacks and I'm gonna say health issues because I believe I can say that now. And unfortunately, as we get older, this is probably something that we will say more of. So I've had my share of health issues. Actually, yesterday when I went to the interview, the producer there, not the I met with the CEO of that the guy who's who's the head of the channel is actually kind of running a business, so he's a CEO, and they had like a team leader. They called her the team leader. I'm not exactly sure what kind of work she's involved in there, but the producer there is the one that I worked with when I was making the online course at MKYU. And so it was, I was really happy to see her because I hadn't seen her since. So I hadn't seen her in several years. So I was really glad to see her again. And, I was kind of excited. We were just catching up, and I was telling her about all the health treatment that I've been getting, like my teeth and my allergy. She almost cried. She's like, "Sensei." Maybe I shared a little too much. But, I was excited to see her. I wanted to, I wanted her to know, like, what was up with me. Maybe I shared a little too much. Anyway. So, I've had my fair share of. Okay. All right, so let me move over to something else here. Do you guys know how to say 잘못 이해하다? Do you know how to say this? Oh, it's not ready yet. We filmed the interview 2 days ago, so it's in the editing room. It's being edited. In fact, I was told that I would be contacted numerous times as they edit the video to, check in with me if I would be all right with so and so. But that has not happened yet, so I guess at the moment they're just doing the initial edit. I think it's gonna be a while, like at least probably not a week, but it'll be a few days before I'll hear anything from them. Okay. Actually, get the wrong idea is kind of like 오해하다. 오해하다 is a little different from 잘못 이해하다, isn't it? I don't know how. Sometimes I'm sure they overlap. I'm sure they overlap in some cases, but in a lot of cases, I don't know. I feel like 잘못 이해하다 and 오해하다 is a little bit different. Okay, so I was actually looking for the word misunderstand. Right, misunderstand. Right, so misunderstood. But I wanted to kind of see how familiar you are with the prefix miss. Do you know any other words that start with miss? Other verbs that we can use with miss. Mishear, mismatch. There are a lot. Probably the most common ones. Yeah, so mistreat. Yeah, I think this is an important one. Misconception is a little bit different. I want to focus on verbs here. Miscommunicate is also one. I'm not familiar with misconcept. This is probably a noun, right? A noun. Yes, mislead. So right now, what I want to do is I want to focus on the ones that are most commonly used. Misplace, very good. Very good. Misread is another one, yes. Misread. So perhaps you misread some signals, right? Someone sent some signals, there were some certain like social cues, and you misread those cues and those signs. and right. Misinterpret. Yes, that's another very common one. Misinterpret. Misspell is also a common one as well. Misjudge, a very common one as well. Misconceive, good. Not very common on a day-to-day basis. Mistake, yes, but interestingly, mistake is actually, oh yeah, that's also a verb, right? So we can, you can say I mistook something, sure. Mismanage, mishandle, misspell. Okay, so there are a lot of misses that we can use, but it doesn't mean that we can use it with every verb. So there's actually no rule. There's actually there's no clear rule saying that we can use miss with these and these verbs. Such rule doesn't exist. So the only way to actually learn these words is actually just to learn each and every one separately. There's no pattern. Okay, misuse. Yes, it's actually a very common one as well. Now, along with these words, I think it's important for us to, yes, misbehave is also a good, very common one too. How about this? How do we say this? I don't think we can say miswrote. I've never heard miswrote. Yes, you can misspell the address. Right. You can say, I misspelled the address. Or yes, you can say, I wrote the address wrong, but there's a much simpler way. There's a much simpler way. There's a much simpler way. I got the address wrong. I got the address wrong. I got the address wrong. Just, I got the address wrong. I got the order wrong. I got the order wrong. I got the order wrong. Of course, so the concept of 잘못 무엇을 하다, 무엇을 잘못, so 무엇을 틀리게 하다, that's kind of what the concept is here. That's what, yeah. So you get the address wrong, you get the order wrong. So there is something that's correct, something that can be viewed as the answer, but if you don't get it right, then you get it wrong. Okay? So of course you can say I got the address right. So from a different perspective, how could we say this? 주소 맞게 쓴 거야? Did you get the address right? Did you get the address right? Of course, yeah, you could. Yes, you could say, did you get the right address? But there is a subtle difference. If you get the right address, that means there are many addresses, and did you get the right one? Okay, but so I guess effectively it's the same, but the nuance is a little bit different. This is what we should be saying for this. 주소 맞게 쓴 거냐? Did you get the address right? So this means, did you get the spelling right? Is it correct? Did you get it right? Same thing. 순서 맞게 한 거야? Right. Did you get the order right? Okay. So the concept of 맞추다 and 틀리다. What we're doing right now, I didn't really want to go ahead and show you the Korean first because you would get too obsessed with it. But I think at some point we have to mention this concept, right? So the concept of 맞추다 and 틀리다, okay? 맞추다 and 틀리다 is so this is kind of a reminder. We've covered this before. So get it right, get it wrong. Okay. So we say things like this, like we don't even realize we use this kind of expression, but we do. Okay? This is something that, right? Yes, so when we want to say something like this, we should use this one of these expressions, right? You got it right the first time. You got it right the first time. Have you ever felt this about, like, when you're inputting a password in maybe your computer or your phone, or like you're trying to access your bank account, and you're typing in your password, and does this happen to you? So how would you say this? Yeah. So there are basically two ways to go about it. You can say, I always get it wrong the first time. But for some reason that I cannot explain, I don't know why, but I'm more tempted to say, I can never get it right the first time. But it's okay. Like, either one is fine. They're both fine. They're both absolutely natural and fine. I always get it wrong the first time. I can never get it right the first time. And of course, you can begin this by saying something like you know, fuck, I can never get it right the first time. I mean, you know, if you want to really put your emotion into it. Pangyong, you like because of this? Really? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you know, we all have our, you know, preferences, so. Oh, you always get it right the first time? Okay. All right. Okay. So, remember this concept, getting it right and getting it wrong. So when like in these examples, I want you to think about like passwords, right? So getting it right the first time. I always get it wrong the first time. I can never get it right the first time. Okay. Is this correct? Or something like that. So how do we say this? Okay, very good. So I got it wrong the first few times, but got it right the fourth. 네 번째쯤에? I think that's what I wanted to say. I got it wrong the first few times, but I got it. I want to say something like, I eventually got it right around fourth time, or something like that. Something like that. Okay, so getting it right, but remember, there's also miss, right? Like 잘못되하다, 잘못 알려주다, right? 무엇을 잘못 어디에 잘못 두고 잊어버리다. So there are a lot of expressions that we can use with this. We can misinterpret, 잘못 해석하다, mismatch, mistreat, misspell, misjudge. A lot of verbs actually work with miss. But in some cases, we have to be ready to say it like this, right? I got the address wrong. You get the address right. Did you get the address right? Did you get his name right? Did you get the spelling correct? Okay. So, or get the order wrong. Okay. All right. Okay, so that was the third thing that I wanted to go over with you. So the first thing that we covered today is, hey, don't take my word for it. Hey, did you know that staying hungry keeps you young? Yeah, when you're hungry, when you physically feel hunger, your body, your aging process slows down. Hey, but don't take my word for it. There's plenty of articles about this. There's plenty of information online about this, and it looks like there's been countless research done in this area. And so, hey, don't take my word for it. I've had my fair share of. I've had my fair share of bad luck. I've had my fair share of challenges, my fair share of failure, bad relationships, betrayal, financial struggles, setbacks, health issues. I've had my fair share of. So I have not been spared from these negative things that everybody goes through, right? I have as much experience with these as anybody else. I've had my fair share of. So something that doesn't happen the way it should, right? So misunderstand, mishear, mismatch. But then there's also, getting something wrong. Get the address wrong, right? Get the order wrong. Get the order right. Right. I think in the sitcom Friends, sitcom Friends, someone said, I think it was Rachel, she said, how hard is it to get a couple of drinks right? I may be wrong about this, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering things that never happened. But I think she said something like this at one point in one of the episodes. I think someone said this. I think this happened when they got their drinks, right? They were at the cafe, they ordered their drinks, and the drinks came out, but the waitress got it all wrong. The orders were all wrong, right? And I think this is kind of what, yeah, I may be wrong though. No, I misunderstood is perfectly fine. Yeah. Okay. All right, what's next? Let's see. 공부하다를 영어로 말하려면 study밖에 없나요? 공부하다가 study죠. 물론 study는 연구하다라는 말로도 쓰기도 하고. 나키님? 나키님, why do you ask? Why do you ask? Wait, that number can't be correct. Seriously? 400 people watching? At this hour? Jeez, that's a lot. learn은 배우는 거죠. Learning is 배우다. You're on your way to work? Okay. You're in Florida. Oh, you're in Florida? Really? Wow. I hear Florida is a really beautiful place. Especially Miami. Like I hear the architecture there is like really, really unlike anywhere else. Two likes? Oh my god, that's so bad. Wait, no, that's not true. I have like 86 likes. Of course, percentage-wise, it's not doing so well, but... Oh, you have a hurricane there. Oh, you're in Orlando. Okay. You know, next time I'll probably like just start the stream and just sit here until there are like 300 likes, and I just won't start. I'll just say, all right, we're not going to start until we have 300 likes. Maybe I'll do that next time. Maybe I'll do that next time. That's a good idea, isn't it? That's a good idea. That's so mean. What? Why? Okay, so to be fair, maybe it's not... Yeah, maybe it's not fair to ask for likes without even starting. Because how do you know you're going to like the stream? Maybe you're not going to like the stream, right? Getting the drinks right? Oh, no. This was it was in a situation where the people were at a cafe and they ordered drinks, right? And the waitress brought their drinks because their order came out, but it was all wrong. So the waitress didn't get the drinks right, didn't get the order right. That was kind of what the context was. Just curious, have you ever tried learning other languages before as well? I tried. I tried learning Chinese, and I was having a lot of fun learning Chinese. But as soon as I started learning to read and write, I just gave up. This was a long time ago. This was like around the time I started teaching English. because the first place that I worked for as an English instructor was actually a Chinese hagwon, and they were planning to open an English course, and that was around the time that I got hired, and the owner there was actually Chinese. He was from China. He was a Chinese person. He spoke a little Korean, but he wanted to pretend like I didn't speak Korean to make it look like I was like a 100% native speaker. And so, he decided that he didn't want to talk to me in Korean in front of the other students because I was not supposed to be able to speak Korean. And so he started teaching me Chinese. He says, all right, now he hated English, by the way. He absolutely hated English. And so he just told me straight up, he said, I'm not going to learn English. And we can't talk in Korean in front of the students, so you're going to learn Chinese. And hey, but make no mistake, he was a terrific Chinese teacher. He was an amazing teacher. And I really enjoyed it. And, I started going into his classes, and I was learning Chinese. I was having a lot of fun. But then as soon as we started learning to read and write, I just gave up. Do you broadcast at the same time every day? No, I do not. I do not. 你好. "我饿死了." 我饿死了. Did I say that right? 我饿死了. What? What the hell is that? I can't. What are you doing? What is this? Didn't I just say I quit as soon as I started to read and write? Actually, my wife hates it when I when I say anything in Chinese. Anyway. Yeah, from what I understand, I never really learned proper Spanish. I never learned Spanish at all. So I wouldn't really, have the firsthand experience to say that. But from what I hear, it's yeah, I just the language. I mean, I like how the language sounds, and I like how it feels when I speak, and I really like the sound. It just, I don't know, there's something about the way it sounds that really intrigues me. But when it comes to reading and writing, it's just so overwhelming. It's just so overwhelming. You were supposed to pretend like you're an American. I suppose that's partly reason you were good at pretending. It surely helped. There was one day when I actually went out for lunch with the students back then. And remember, I wasn't supposed to speak Korean. And so we were enjoying lunch, and I instinctively raised my hand to get the waiter's attention. I said, "물 좀 주세요." And then it suddenly hit me. I was like, "Oh shit. What do I?" And then I try to stay as calm as I could. And everyone was really surprised. They immediately looked, it's like, "What the hell just happened?" And then I turned to them and I said, "Did I say it right? How was my pronunciation?" And they said, "It was really good. It was really good." And I don't know, maybe a few of them knew that I actually spoke in Korean, but that was really scary. 영어 소년 방식이 너무 좋다고요? Well, then you're one of the lucky ones, because most people don't like it. Most people don't like it. And I suppose you prefer British English. Anyway. Okay, so fourth one. Be quick to do something. Why are you so quick to assume that I did it? For example. Be quick to do something. It's a little bit different from this. It's a little bit different. From the context, I'm sure you can understand what this means. From the context, right? I'm not exactly sure what 속단하다 means, but for some reason it looks right. It's kind of like this. Yes. Oh, a lot of really high-level Korean vocabulary here. 속단하다, 예단하다. A lot of... See, this is what I mean when I say that I don't feel fluent in either language. I don't know what these mean. Yes, actually, this is the expression that I was looking for. 섣부르게. Yeah, I don't know. Is this like a really old-fashioned expression? 섣부르다, 섣부르게. But this is the one that I was actually looking for. 섣불리, 섣부르다. Is it? I don't know. Is it like? 넘겨짚다. I don't know what that means. 서둘러 판단? I don't know what 넘겨짚다 is. What is that? So this, like, as far as I understand, as far as my so I think the important thing is that we go through a lot of examples, right? So, right, this is being like, right. So being quick to do something is usually in the context of being hasty, right? Being hasty. Okay. So, it's a shame she was so quick to judge who I am. Is this actually from one of my videos? Be quick to judge. Be quick to assume. Be quick to trust. Be quick to quit. So these are probably the some of the most common things that we people. I think, as far as I understand, these are some of the most commonly used ones. To be quick to judge, quick to assume. Don't be. Hold on a second. Don't be too quick to trust those reviews. For example, when we are reading reviews about products, locations, places, services, and stuff like that, right? I mean, this is probably a very, very common advice that people give each other. Don't be too quick to trust those reviews. A lot of them are paid ads. Right, exactly. Yeah, don't be too quick to trust people on the internet. Why are you so quick to decide to hate the new iPhone? Right, like this. Right, exactly. Very good. Very, very good. Oh, right. Be quick to fall in love. That's another one. Sure. Maybe we should add that. 선생님은 어디서 왔어요? Are you asking me where I'm from, or I'm from Korea? I was born in Korea. No. I was born in Korea. Why are you so quick to assume that I'm from another planet? I was quick to apologize to my wife for peace at home. Okay, yeah, be quick to apologize, right. Of course, depending on how you use this in a sentence, it can actually be a negative thing. So you can say, I was too quick to apologize. I should have waited a little bit. I was too quick to apologize. Be quick to celebrate is another one. Right. Okay. So one last thing I want to go over before we finish this morning. I honestly think that my English got a lot better after I got. Wow, that's great. It's amazing. And you know what? It's not really because of me. It's because of the time we spend together, or at least the time that you spend, with English. So I think that's what makes a difference. Why are you so quick to criticize me when I make a mistake? Right. Okay, this works too. Good. Okay, so one last thing that I want to go over before we finish. Is this number 5? How do we say 우유회네? 우유회네? That's odd. Actually, that works in some cases, sure. 와 드디어 라이브로 봐요. 미국 살아서 시간이 안 맞아서 늘 라이브 들어와서 댓글 쓰고 싶어서요. 팬입니다. Wow, that's great. Thank you. I'm glad you finally made it to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Glad you were able to tune in this morning, although you're not tuning in the morning where you are. It's great. Okay, so it depends. It depends what the situation is. It depends what the situation is, right? But if you were to ask me, what expression is there that can cover most cases, right? Like just this, right? Just this. What expression is there that can cover maybe not all, but most cases? And I think you'll be a little surprised. If it were me and I wanted to, like, there was a situation and I want to say, 우회네? Yes, this. I would say, interesting. That's what I would say. Interesting. Interesting. Of course, depending on the situation, there are other things you can say. So think about this. Think about this. 의외네가 interesting이라고? Interesting. Right? It works, right? It works. Like, that's interesting. Although, of course, you can say, it's not what I was expecting. No, that's not what I was expecting. Or to say it more briefly, you can just say not what I expected. Not what I expected. So, for example, you ordered some food at a restaurant and the food came out and you took your first bite and you say, 의외네, right? Not what I expected. Not what I expected. Of course, interesting. Not what I expected. Not what I expected. Not what I expected. I dropped the T sound. Oh, did I say now? Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. That's not what I expected. So, when someone takes their first bite of their food and they say, not what I expected, what would you say? What would you say? What did you expect? Of course you could ask that, sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay, so probably the simplest thing you can probably say is yes, this. Better? 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 투부정사요? 투부정사가 뭐예요? What is it? I have no idea what that is. Ugh. Oh shit, I need to wash this bottle. To verb? Why do you worry about that? Why do you worry about to verb? 투부정사 is interesting. 문법책에 나온다고요? Do you want to learn grammar? Why do you want to learn grammar? It's fun. Okay. I never said I was 영어쌤. I'm just me. I'm your friend. I'm just your friend. When it comes to 투부정사, the kind of behavior that I would like to encourage you to have The way I want you to think of 투부정사 is I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to know. That's like, honestly, I'm not even kidding. That's the kind of behavior that I want to encourage you to have about 투부정사 or actually anything else. Okay. Yeah. Because you know what? It's not important. It's not important. It's like it's like when you're trying to learn to drive and you tell yourself, wow, the rule of inertia is so hard. It's kind of like that. 운전을 배우는데 관성의 법칙이 너무 어렵다고 하는 거랑 비슷한 거예요. 운전을 배우는데, engineering is so hard. 기계공학 너무 어렵다. It's kind of like that. 실시간 채팅이요? 언제 몇 시 하냐고요? 매일 실시간 채팅은 디스코드에서 매일 하고 있어요. 저는 매일 안 하고요. 많은 사람들이 매일 하고 있어요. If you're referring to these live streams, no, we don't do these every day, unfortunately. We do these I do them as often as I can, sometimes twice a day. I wonder what would happen if we do it like 3 times a day. Anyway, and there's no scheduled it's not a scheduled event. We just do these whenever I have time, whenever I can. 문법 용어 왜 그렇게 시작되었을까요? I don't know for sure, but as far as I understand, it comes from Japan. Is that true? Does it come from Japan? Have we adopted their learning system? Their English learning system? I can't say that for sure because that's just something that I heard. But 배우기 어렵게 하려고. 일본 음식은 좋지만. Anyway, so the most like I want you to look at it this way. I want you to look at it this way. Number 6, look at it this way. When suggesting a point of view. All right, so look at it this way. Would you encourage a foreigner to study Korean grammar? Okay, so someone is trying, like a foreigner is trying to learn some Korean. Would you encourage them to learn Korean grammar? No, hell no. I would tell them, no, hell no. Stay away from grammar. Stay the hell away from grammar, right? So that's the way I look at it, and that's the way that we should all look at it. And always keep that in mind. Like, what advice would I give a foreigner who is trying to learn some Korean? What advice would I give them? And apply that to yourself, to your own learning journey. Apply that. And, because why would you not, right? Why would you not? 너무 좀 고통받아버려. What? Korean grammar? So, look at it this way. Come on. We're not that bad. I know you're not that bad. All right, that's it. So when it comes to 의외네, my first suggestion is interesting, right? Interesting. And my second is not what I expected. Or I think you could also say not what I thought. Not quite sounds better. Not quite what I thought. Not quite what I expected. Not quite what I thought. Not quite what I had in mind. That's a little bit different. Never mind. So, not quite what I expected. Not quite what I thought. Better? Worse? Okay, so when it comes to 의외네, right? Of course, when you use it in the adverb form, 의외로, right? When it's 의외로, then in most contexts, you can say what? What is 의외로? 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 Right. In most contexts, you can say surprisingly, okay? So this is like, what is this? 5-555. So 의외로, okay, like 의외로 어떻다, right? In most contexts, you can say surprisingly. However, there are of course other ways to say it. For example, you can say, "Oh, it's surprisingly heavy, right? 의외로 무겁네." But you can also, it's almost the same as saying it's heavier than I thought. They're both correct. They're both correct. They both have this nuance, right? So if something is heavier than you thought, then it's 의외로 무거운 거, right? However, there's another one. It's heavier than... Can anybody read my mind right now? If there's actually a better version than this, something that matches this a little bit better, rather than I thought. My mouse has stopped working. My mouse has stopped working. My mouse has stopped working. I can't believe it. I can't believe my mouse has stopped working. Oh, the battery has run out. What do I do then? Oh, shoot. Do I have another mouse? Bluetooth. How do I... Come on. Why is it not connecting? Come on. There we go. Okay, we're back in business. Okay. Oh, wait. Why is it so stuttery? What the heck? Why is it so stuttery? Is this almost out of battery as well? What? What the hell is wrong with this? Huh? Oh, man. This is impossible. Wait. How am I supposed to use it in this condition? Oh, wait. It's getting better? It's at 90% battery, so I have enough battery on this thing. That's weird. It's connected to the same Bluetooth. What, I have to install something? Oh, it's better. It's better for some reason. That's so weird. It's an electronic device. What? No. It's installing something. Is it gonna get better once I install this? It's just a mouse. Jeez. Anyway. 의외네를 no way요? It depends. I guess there can be some situations where you could express that with no way, but no way sounds more like 말도 안 돼. So it's probably a more extreme form of 의외네, I think. Heavier than the heaviest? That doesn't really make sense. Yeah, yes, you're right. Yeah, then it looks. Yeah, it's heavier than it looks. So, however, this also depends. It also depends on why you are saying 의외로. Because maybe the reason you're saying 의외로 is because of an information that you had before you actually had the chance to actually hold it in your hand. In that case, if it's not compared to, if it's only because of the information that you had before, then you could, of course, say, you would say, I thought. It's heavier than I thought. Okay? Because maybe this experience is based on some information that you had. Okay? But then heavier than it looks is simply like you're there, you're on the spot, you're looking at it, and maybe you look at this thing and you think, oh, that's just a small thing, it's probably made out of plastic, and then you hold it in your hand and then it's heavier than it looks, right? Because you thought it was a small size and you thought it was probably plastic and you didn't think it would be heavy, and then so it really depends on the situation. Okay. All right. Okay, so right. And then 잘못하다. Get the address wrong, right? I've had my fair share of something. Okay, it's time to feed your dogs. You are right. Yes, it's time to feed my dogs. Don't take my word for it. All right, I'm just going to copy this in the description section of this video. Oh, this mouse is really giving me a hard time. Did I use angled brackets? There are angled brackets somewhere. Oh, here. Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, I copied and pasted. Yes, I can hear the crows. What? Let it go, Pang Young. Let it go. I know, right? Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Thanks for spending time with me at this early in the day. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And if I don't see you throughout the weekend, have a great weekend. And let's hope it gets cooler soon. Okay? I'll see you guys again real soon. Have a nice day.